This show is brought to you by Millennium Tree Stands, Extreme Archery Products, and Ramcat Broadheads.
Welcome to Reality Hunt Club. In this webisode, we're on the road up here in Kansas with Mike Wheeler of Wheeler's Whitetail. We're up here for a 5-day hunt, so stay tuned and let's see how this hunt unfolds. Well, as you can see as the intro, we're hunting in Kansas. Unbelievable country. We just had a great time. We're up there hunting with Mike Wheeler's of Wheeler's Whitetail. We'd been up there earlier in the season, during turkey season, and we killed 6 gobblers. It was me, Chuck, and Gabby. And we knocked 6 gobblers down. I'll show you those birds flopping right now. Now, if you watch this show and you've seen some of the shows, you know how rough a season I've had. Had a lot of miscues on my part. The weather hadn't been great. You know, went to Pike County, had to see that webisode, see what was going on. So at the back, all during the season, at the back of my head, I said, I've always got Kansas to turn my season around. Well, go to Kansas, and sure enough, we get there. First day's cold, next day 70, 75 degrees, so the weather goes really, really south. You know, my luck followed me. So I was a little disappointed in that. I'd waited all year for this trip. Mike's got an unbelievable place. And so I get up there. I saw a lot of deer, just didn't see the deer I really wanted to shoot. Never saw a big buck. But anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. So so we're up there hunting with Mike Wheeler's of Wheeler's Whitetail. Now Mike's come down and gator hunt. Of course, I told you we went up there and turkey hunt with him. Now Mike's got an unbelievable place. I mean, he's got 3,000 acres. And little Mike and Dave, his guys, really helped us out this week. And I hunted mainly one stand. And every time I hunted that stand, whether it was morning or evenings, I was seeing 20 to 30, sometimes 50 deer. And that's just amazing to me, because if I was hunting in Georgia, you know, 70, 75 degrees, I would see nothing. Well, I was seeing deer 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning all the way, even when I get on the stand, 3:30. So just unbelievable. And I'm showing you some of that video right now. Problem was we were just seeing little bucks and stuff like that. Nothing huge to shoot. Now on the third day of the hunt, I started seeing this nice, looked like a 3.5 buck to me. Nice 8-point. It could be a 10, depends on how much those crab claws, how much his G4s would come up. But I showed Mike the video. I said, I'm seeing this deer. And he's like, well, that'd be a good 5-day buck if you don't see anything else you want to shoot. So I'm sitting there patient. So I saw him the 3rd day. I saw him twice the 4th day. And so the 5th day I got up knowing I was going to shoot that deer. And that morning, sure enough, when you know you're going to shoot that deer, if nothing else comes by, what happens? He doesn't come by. So I'll go back that evening, and he got to where he comes out right at 10 minutes till dark. And it's kind of about a 165-yard shot in there. So sure enough, he came out actually early, about 4:30 Central Time. So I was excited about that. Now, let me flash back a little bit. That morning when I was going to the stand, I was driving the truck and had 3 deer run out in front of the truck, and I had to slam on brakes really, really hard. I thought I was going to hit the deer. And when I did that, all the stuff on the back seat of the truck just come flying forward onto the floor. And I thought I heard some, you know, all the rackets and you know, all hitting the back of the seat. I heard some metal on metal. Well, I didn't pay any attention. I drove there to the stand, and I got out and I started piling all the stuff off. Sure enough, my gun was in a case, soft case, but sure enough, it was at the bottom of the seat where the metal attaches to the floorboard, and it was right there on the scope. And I was sitting there going, oh, I'm okay. It's not knocked off. I think I'm fine. So I hunt all that day, and so let's fast forward to now. So I'm sitting in there, and the deer comes in, and I'm happy. And as you can see in the GoPro, the point of view and all, I've got a pretty good rest. And I shoot, and the deer doesn't really flinch, but he does drop down. And you see the bullet going through the grass, but you can't quite make out where I shot him. So then he runs over 60 yards, and he's just standing there looking around like, what was that noise? So I put another one in, and I shoot again, and then he turns and he runs all the way back behind the feeder. You actually can see it in the camera, because I didn't move the camera on the second shot. You can see him hauling butt by, and I'm sitting there going, "What in the world?" So we go back to the outfitter's camp house, and we look at the video. Some of the guys like, "Yeah, I can see where you hit him," and I'm sitting there going, "I didn't hit that deer." So we looked for a couple hours. We took the dog to look, and no luck whatsoever. So anyway, I get back to town, and I'm just sitting there going, you know, I just missed. And so I get back to town, and I go shoot my rifle. And guess what? It's off tremendously. And sure enough, I got it back on. So I don't feel so bad now, but, you know, my luck continues. Which I'm not complaining, because that's hunting. Some years you have bad luck. Some years you have a great year. So anyway, this is Reality Hunt Club I wanted to share with you guys. And I really enjoyed hanging out with Mike and the guys that were in camp. Chuck had to leave a little early. And but if you really want to go shoot a big whitetail, look us up, WheelersWhitetail.com. And we're hooked on it. In my opinion, this is my first deer hunt I've ever gone on outfitting. I go on turkeys all the time. This is my first whitetail deer. And everybody always like, go to Canada, go to Canada. And I'm like, I don't want to go to Canada and pay that kind of money. So we met Mike, and you've seen the Reality Hunt Club episodes we've done with Mike talking about his plan. Now Mike spends time on these stands. I mean, that's his full-time job, is working on these stands and his food plots, his feeders and his leases. I mean, that's all he does. He actually rakes and blows out a path to your ladder stand. See, I would come up on the back of this, I'd say about 10-acre food plot. It had a feeder on there. You can see in the video we watched. And I would come up in the woods and sneak up in that stand, and all the deer would be in front of me. Then hardly ever come behind me because of the way of sitting on top of a big ridge, kind of like almost like a mountain. And he'd rake 100 yards, as I'm showing you right here, and blew it out. So when I got there in the morning or in the evenings fitting to hunt, you could walk on bare dirt and sneak right up to it. And that's the kind of tension. And Mike runs cameras everywhere, and he puts you on a stand, and he tells you to sit there. There's a big buck in that area. So anyway, go to WheelersWhitetail.com, and hopefully Mike will have us back next year. I really enjoy his company and the fellowship with the guys, and don't forget the food, man. Man, we ate some kind of food. And I tell you, there's nothing like coming in from a frustrated day and got some great food there. And the accommodations were just class A. Big screen TV, lots of trophies laying around. We just had a great time. So anyway, I want to thank Mike for putting up with me and Chuck this year. And get back on the Reality Hunt Club side. Going up the week before Christmas to hunt 2 or 3 days, maybe 4 days with my son. My dad had surgery, so he's not going to be able to go, so kind of bummed about that. And probably go before the end of the year, which the end of the season is the 15th of January, so we'll try to go in January a couple times. We've only shot 7 does, so we've got to shoot a lot more does. So anyway, you guys are probably getting tired of me. I can't put anything on the ground, but stick with us. It's just part of hunting. So anyway, like us on Facebook, follow us on Facebook, like us on YouTube. Send us your comments, and keep watching Reality Hunt Club. Maybe we got some more good hunts coming up. So thanks for watching.
If you like this show, check out our other shows at hunt365.tv.